It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Broncos and the Bucs. And it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
Well, as soon as you see that pirate ship in the north end zone, you know exactly where we are. It's the home of the Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Hewitt. I'm Kate Scott. And Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple of QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over them for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
To kick off, here's Will Lutz. And we're off from Tampa. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. So here come the Buccaneers, ready for their opening drive. They're led out by the 7th-year pro, comeback player of the year contender last season in Baker Mayfield.
He gave us all the excitement we could hope for last week, but it wasn't all in a good way, at least for his team. Never knew if his throws were going to end in a touchdown or turnovers, and he had a couple of both by the end of the loss. You don't want him to lose that gunslinger mentality. You just want him to be a little more thoughtful with each and every decision.
And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's good enough for a Tampa first down. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. First down, here's Baker. Grabbed by Chris Godwin. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's good for a Buccaneer first down. Irving on the inside give. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Right back to Irving now. And he's brought down at the line. He didn't get anything on that run, so struggles on the ground, leaving them with 3rd and long. They send a receiver in motion right. 3rd down, here's Mayfield. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
So the Broncos offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the final quarterback taken in the first round of this year's draft. A lot of experience from Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
And when we look back at last week's win, Kate, pretty easy to see those 4 touchdowns. A lot more of an impact on the game than the 1 interception he threw. Wasn't quite perfect. I'm sure that pick will nag at him, but you'd welcome an encore of everything else he was doing in that ball game.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Straight ahead they go with Piron.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Nix. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces 3rd down. Now as we get a chance to look at their picks from this year's draft, Brock, we see a lot of names that are set up to help this team both this year as rookies and down the line as well.
Yeah, you really see the two draft strategies combined here, right? Best player available in drafting for needs. Some people will like one, some like the other. Personally, I think it's best when you add both to a class like they did. Some of these guys we're going to see right away, and others, well, they're going to have to develop to add some depth and serious talent down the road.
Completed to Sutton. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
First and 10 now from the 30. Play action with Nix. An alert play defensively there. Got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it second down.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception, but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
Nix again on second and 10. Patrick with the catch. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Now we'll give up the middle to Piron. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
Second down now, 7 to go. Nix looking to throw. Gets this one to Patrick. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
This is complete to Patrick. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And the Broncos will have a first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
It'll be a quality gain on the run, and that also brings us to the end of this quarter. Through one quarter, neither side breaking through on the scoreboard. Couple of zeros on the board right now. More from Raymond James Stadium coming up after the break. We're back, and it is Broncos football as we resume. They're advancing it well as they face second down. Nix off the play action. The Buccaneers get there and bring him down. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth, but a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
So 3rd and 16, no problem for them as they get the first.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. To the ground with Piron. And he makes it to the start of the red zone down at the 20. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
the 20 on second down. This one's hauled in on the left side.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Nix. Yeah, this one is dropped and incomplete. He had the pick in his hands, couldn't hang on. It's going to be 4th down. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And they're on the board.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. But that's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
Set to return this, Trey Palmer. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Well, we've already seen some nice plays here, and we're going to see plenty more before this game ends. But you might be thinking, with plays like that, my guys' ratings should be better. Well, you're not alone. You got a chance to let the Madden ratings hotline know just what you're thinking. Give them a call, 1-844-MADDEN-1, and make your case for who should get a boost. And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
2nd and 8. Rifles it, and it's caught. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Mayfield on 1st and 10. Hauled in by Godwin. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Palmer coming in motion left. Mayfield now from the gun. Completes this one to Otten. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. We're at the 2-minute warning now from Raymond James. And it's the Buccaneers with 1st and 10. On target to Godwin. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Baker throwing again. Finds his man. It's Godwin. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. That's a pickup of 9. And that's good enough for a Tampa 1st down. Mayfield to throw again. This throw is caught. And it's a touchdown. He made the catch and took it the rest of the way. The Buccaneers get some late points and the lead. It's a Chris Godwin touchdown. So he finds his man in space, and then the wideout takes advantage. Nice finish there to take it in for 6.
Yeah, no question about it. We know points are always a premium in this league, and this really becomes a 3 to 4 point play. Right? When you don't have to settle for field goals, you could throw it underneath and your receivers do that much damage in the open field and score a touchdown. That's big time.
McLaughlin has it on the team, and he's ready to send this flying. Here's Traymon Smith with the return. Good looking return here, and he's got room. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. The Denver offense taking the field for their 2nd drive. And we're down inside a minute to play in the half, but that's enough time to get a drive together. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Nix from the gun. To left sideline, complete. It's a huge pickup on the play. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. From the red zone now. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Shotgun snap to Nix. And he'll score. Touchdown, Denver! The Broncos get some late points and the lead. Cortland Sutton, the touchdown. It's plays like this that make him so well regarded across this league, Brock.
Yeah, such just a difference-making receiver, Kate.
Yep.
You expect him to be the target down here. You did, I did, the defenders did. But what makes him a star is even when people know his number's being called, he still finds a way to deliver.
Will Lutz now on for the extra point. That one splits the uprights. And they'll continue adding to their lead. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Return starts at the 3. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Bucs offense taking over late in the half. They don't have much time left, but facing a small deficit, they could try to get this into field goal range. 1st down, here's Baker. Irving hauls it in. And he crosses the sideline a yard or 2 beyond, it looks like the 30.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. From the 31. No hesitation, and that one's caught. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. 1st and 10 from the 41. Baker now from the gun. He's got Godwin working that sideline. And he goes out. Just needed one more step there to reach midfield.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time.
Now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes and a half, but the replay official wants to take another look at this on their own. We're all watching that sideline here, seeing where those feet came down.
And no matter what they rule here, Kate, that was an outstanding effort just to make the catch.
Yeah.
Now we got to look and see, did he get both feet in with possession?
Review the play.
So the officials looked at it twice. The replay officials in New York agreed, and the call on the field's going to stand. From the gun, Mayfield. This ball's cut by Palmer. And they make the tackle at the 38. Tampa spends its 2nd timeout now. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. New set of downs for them at the 38. 1st and 10, it's Mayfield. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Now the offense going to take its 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And then brings up 3rd down.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting a completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And it'll knock this game up late in the second quarter. Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. A final throw before the break. Puts his body on the line, and he got it. And we've arrived at the break, and what a second half we're in store for. It's tied at 10 after 2. Now we'll keep it in-state, but send you a couple hours away to our buddy in Orlando. It's Jonathan Coachman. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Kate, we'll get back to you and Brock in a bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We'll begin up in the Still City, Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. And this is a 4-point game as they've gone to the locker rooms for halftime. Wandale Robinson, 2 touchdown catches in that first half alone. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. DeAndre Hopkins, a touchdown reception. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie, see what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they've reached halftime, all tied. 17-all is the score. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference. These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half ahead. It's time to get back at it. For the call, let's rejoin Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
And after the brief pause, welcome back to the NFL on EA Sports. You picked a great spot to get back to this one. We're about to begin the second half. Well, we're set up for an incredible second half, all tied as we kick it away here in quarter number 3. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. The Buccaneers getting their offense set to go to begin the third. And they'll have a little momentum as they take the field here after their kicker drilled a deep one to end their last drive with points. From the gun, it's Edmonds. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
They send one of the tight ends in motion right. From the 34. Finds his man en route complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Shotgun handoff to Irving. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Offense to the line for second down. Once again, Irving. And they're going to get him down just shy of midfield. Still a nice gain, though, up to the 49. Pickup of 7 yards on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Baker now from the gun. And down he goes. The Broncos got there. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of fourth down. Tampa Bay in punt formation now. And this is the second time he's been brought on to kick it. Begins his return at the 16. And they bring him down to put a stop to that return. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And the Broncos get set to take over. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Nick's looking to throw. Short pass caught by his tight end. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Straight ahead they go with Piron. And he gets back to the line, but no more. Nothing for them on 2nd down, and now it's 3rd and 1.
Hey, I know 3rd and 1 feels like an automatic running down, but after seeing that last play yield you nothing, this offense and that coordinator's got a seed of doubt. This defense playing some mind games with them. It's results like that that drive coordinators nuts. Premature balding, gray, wrinkles, all of it, Kate. You call something conservative. The last thing you're thinking is you're going to lose yards on a 3rd and 1 run.
Now on 4th down, it's Trenton Gill out to kick it away. And they bring him down to put a stop to that return. 58 yards on the punt there. And the Buccaneers will get set to go on offense. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
As a defense, you got to see the pass. You got to time up your hit, and you got to jar that ball loose. Not a lot of offensive players are hanging on to that one through a well-placed hit.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Throwing again is Baker. He goes back to him yet again. Complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
Just excellent effort on that catch. And a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, and they got a tackle behind the line, but a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
Mayfield now from the gun. Working the sideline. Oh, he got it. Drug the feet. That's a catch. Following that completion, medical staff headed out for an injured player. We'll see what the nature of his injury is. Broncos bringing out an extra DB. 3rd down coming up. Baker now. This one finds Irving. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line.
Complete to number 7, Bucky Irving. Chase McLaughlin for the Buccaneers field goal.
We're still tied through 3 here. Neither defense has given an inch in this one. Well, we didn't see either side separate through 3. It's all tied at 10 to begin the 4th. So Chase McLaughlin is on in a high-pressure spot. He was money on his first field goal, Brock. His second coming a little inside of 50 yards. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they take the lead in the fourth quarter.
Well, I tell you what, you get to this time of the game, you've got to have that reliable kicker on the sideline to turn things over to. That's the definition of clutch right there as they take the lead.
And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Denver ready for another offensive possession. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Nix. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down.
I'm just going to say maybe not the guy you want to pick on in coverage on this particular series. Gets a hand on that throw and knocks it away. The next time, well, he could get 2 hands on it and take it the other way.
Play action with Nix. And that one looked like an interception for a second. Instead, it's incomplete. Defender couldn't hang on to it. 3rd down coming up.
Hey, Kane, you feeling lucky? Well, the quarterback is, because he just dodged a major turnover. That was an easy pick that was simply dropped.
On 3rd down, here's Nix. Burton there to bring it in. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Now we'll give up the middle to Piron. And he's brought down after a modest gain up to the 46. Give him 5 on that carry, bring it up 2nd and 5.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 46. Patrick with the catch. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. They go with Piron here. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that 1st down right there.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Nix off the play action. That throw comes up short. Need a little more muscle on that one.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Shotgun snap to Nix. Nearly intercepted. Ooh, he almost had it. Couldn't bring it in. Incomplete. That brings up 3rd down.
I think I could see his eyes from the booth. He was envisioning the return and simply dropped it. You got to secure the pick before anything else.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. He's back to throw. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. That is Eddie Jackson. And the Buccaneers will take over as he records his 1st interception of our season. He was trying to fit it into into a window in the zone coverage, but by the time he let it go, boy, Brock, that lane had closed, and someone was there to make a play on it.
Now, what you're trying to do in zone coverage defensively is make that quarterback see a window that isn't actually there. And as soon as he takes the bait and sends it over the middle, well, you got 1, 2, 3 defenders all there in range to go pick it off. Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Shotgun snap, a give to Edmonds. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short gain. So a timeout comes in. Looks like the defense using its first stops this game as we get close to our 2-minute warning. So now here's 3rd and 5. He'll throw it. Complete beyond the marker. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that's good for a Buccaneer first down. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in Tampa. Buccaneers holding on to a field goal lead. New set of downs for him from the 46. Irving on the inside give. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Right back to Irving now. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. No surprises here. Defense quick to stop that clock. We've got 1:53 left in this game. Let's see what they went with on 3rd down. Now it's Irving. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks. 7 yards there, but even after that, still a chunk to go on 4th down. Punt team is on now, and they get this away. Now this is a beauty of a kick. It's headed out of bounds, no chance at a return or a touchback. They're going to mark it out at the 6. So here comes the Bronco offense. Their last series sure was looking like points up until that interception, Brock. Hopefully they can move the ball similarly well as they take over here. Throwing now. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down.
Well, Kate, that wasn't a fast enough break for the interception, but it was good enough and a good enough break to break on the ball, get a finger on it, and force the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. Looking to throw it. This one is tipped away and incomplete. Good positioning to make a play on it. That forces 3rd down.
Perhaps a bit late breaking towards the ball, but still just enough time to get a finger on it and knock it away.
Defense with an excellent opportunity at a stop here on 3rd down. Here he is to throw. It's tipped away and it's going to hit the ground incomplete. Defender winning that rep. That brings up 4th down.
You know, as a QB, I'm going to note that in the back of my head. That was a heck of a break. Knocks the ball away. DBs like that, they tend to, once they get one hand on the ball, have a pretty good beat on you and can get 2 hands on it the next time.
He finds him beyond the marker. And he's out of bounds, just a step short of the 40. This game has already been a good one for him, Brock. And hey, there's still time. He could add on even more.
And you just feel his aggressive mindset all game long. As long as there's time left, he's going to want to keep on firing and turn a good performance into a great one.
A modest amount of time left, Brock, but crucially, no timeouts for him. It's 1st down. To throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Now to throw. Down the middle, complete. blown the lead in the final minute. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. Time for us to get another look at this Tampa Bay offense. They find themselves down here in the 4th after that touchdown. This game could end up depending on how they respond right here. He'll look to throw it. The Broncos get to him here. He's brought down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
At the 22-yard line.
Buccaneers hustling to the line. They're in the hurry up. Here he is to throw. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is cut. So the Broncos right out of here with a win on the road. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners. As with that, we sign off from Tampa.